And life happens. Because here you are performing in life and you do not have that information. Right? So then when you look ahead, you think of or regard something in a specific way. And what is that something? It has to be within. It can't be my picture frame with my parents. Right? That's something, but how is that going to progress you as a person? Holding on to a photograph, something that someone can steal, right? You see where I'm going with this? Something that can fall off the pedestal, right? And it falls down and it breaks, right? And God forbid it's a fire, you right? A child grabs it and now it wants a color over it. So things can happen, circumstances, right? Because like I said, circumstances are a variable that no one can understand nor dictate, not even an actuary, but that's what they pay them to do, right? To figure out how circumstances work, right? Because there's always a consequences to an effect, right? And that's still circumstances, right? They call it chance. But we know chance is definite when you do something that you're not supposed to do, right? And if you think about it, that's what you're doing now, right? You're neglecting. You're not understanding. You're not in tuned, right? To be in tuned. You see where I'm going with this? To play that instrument that you are. Right? Because when you think about it, that's why we have degrees. That's why we go to places to get taught things. Right? Because all that information is within you already if you really think about it. It is. Right? Because when you go to school, all you're doing is remembering what it is that you already know, and then you're just compounding it. That's all it is. That's all it really is. And if you find it hard to acclimate to something, it's because it's not what you want to do. It's not what you want to do. It's like trying to put a square peg in a round hole. Right? And that's most college. That's most college students, graduating students, professionals today in the world. Right? Square pegs in round holes. Right? And I'm calling them out because they are. Right? They're doing something for the money, and just because they're skilled to do it, they do it. But they're not really, right, qualified to do it. Right? It's like being a heart surgeon and you don't have a heart. Right? Kind of makes you feel it's like a robot working on you. Right? And when you think about it, we'll look at the end result. Right? We always look ahead at the end result. We're not looking at what is in front of us right now, what is present before us right now. Because when you look at something in the future, right? Like looking in a mirror, that's as present as you're gonna get. That's as present you're gonna get. You look at yourself in the mirror and you will look at yourself and you say, okay, in 10 years, what would you see? What is it that you change, or you just remain constant and left victim to circumstances, right? Because you were comfortable in what you were doing, right? Now, I understand that there's situations where you have to remain constant, but just because you remain constant because you get up and you go work a job till 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock, or 7 o'clock in the morning. When you understand these things, you have to understand, what are you doing within that time? You're doing their job or you're doing the job? I'm not going to tell you which is the answer, but you have to understand, right? Time is as valuable as Time is priceless. And if you waste 8 hours, 12 hours a day, 3 days a week, and you felt because you got a degree you felt like life is over, studying is over, reading and growing is over. If you really believe that, then I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Life is constantly changing. It's constantly evolving. And it happens without your permission. It does. Because it sits in the darkness, man, of your circumstances. Just waiting to call into play. Put me in, coach. And they put them in. And life happens. And are you equipped to challenge life when it happens? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You are. But most people turn to religion. And they turn to kneeling down, and they turn to praying. And they fail to look within. They rather put all the pressure on God. They rather put all the pressure on the Lord Jesus Christ. And they don't want to accept any blame and responsibility for the problems that they are now throwing at God or presenting to God at his feet to take care of for them. There's a difference. There's a difference. There's a difference in understanding. Yes, it is. Because once you understand yourself, you have to understand that you have to take responsibility for your actions. You have to. You have to. Right? Because the police officer is not going to arrest somebody else and they know you did it. It's impossible. It's accountability. It's always going to be accountability. So it's always better to do with less and have more than to have more and just losing your mind with having more. Right? Because somewhere in there, circumstances in life is going to happen. Right? And you could Google it. I used to be rich, but now I'm poor. I used to have this, and now I don't. Right? Yeah, man. There's always circumstances. Always lurking. Ringing his dinner bell. Because here's another person that don't know themselves. And it's just going to be a matter of time till the money runs out. The loving runs out. The health runs out. And the light goes out.